Hello again. It's another week, and this is another Word with Dave. And this week we're in 1 Samuel's chapter 4. I'm going to read from 1 to 10. And it goes like this. Now the Israelites went out to fight against the Philistines. The Israelites camped at Ebenezer, and the Philistines at Aphek. The Philistines employed their forces to meet Israel, and as the battle spread, Israel was defeated by the Philistines, who killed about 4,000 of them on the battlefield. When the soldiers returned to camp, the elders of Israel asked, "Why did the Lord bring defeat upon us today before the Philistines? Let us bring the ark of the Lord's covenant from Shiloh, so that it may go with us and save us from the hand of our enemies." So the people sent men to Shiloh, and they brought back the ark of the covenant of the Lord Almighty, who is enthroned between the cherubim. And Eli's two sons, Hophni and Phinehas, were there with the ark of the covenant of God. When the ark of the Lord's covenant came into the camp, all Israel raised such a great shout that the ground shook. Hearing the uproar, the Philistines asked, "What's all this shouting in the Hebrew camp?" When they learned that the ark of the Lord had come into the camp, the Philistines were afraid. "A god has come into the camp," they said. "We're in trouble. Nothing like this has happened before. Woe to us! Who will deliver us from the hand of these mighty gods? They are the gods who struck the Egyptians with all kinds of plagues in the desert. Be strong, Philistines. Be men, or you will be subject to the Hebrews, as they have been to you. Be men and fight." So the Philistines fought, and the Israelites were defeated, and every man fled to his tent. The slaughter was very great. Israel lost 30,000 foot soldiers. The ark of God was captured, and Eli's two sons, Hophni and Phinehas, died. The word of the Lord. So the story actually goes on, and it actually is a pretty sad one, because Eli was the priest, and these two sons that we read about in the end, Hophni and Phinehas, they also became priests as well, but they weren't doing very well. They were troublemakers while they were supposed to be doing the work of God. They were troublemakers, and God didn't want them there. And Eli wasn't doing enough to stop their foolishness. So Eli ended up dying, and his sons also ended up dying as well. So today's topic is, let's not confuse images with God. Let's not confuse images with God. So the leaders in verse 3, they thought the ark of the covenant by itself had power, which was probably why they sent for it in the first place. Because if you look at verse 3, it says, "Why did the Lord bring defeat upon us today before the Philistines? Let us bring the ark of the Lord's covenant from Shiloh, so that it may go with us and save us." So they weren't thinking about God himself. They were thinking about the ark of the covenant, right? So they're using this as an image, and this was proven to be dead wrong. We should be careful that we don't idolize images. It could be money, it could be people, even your church. Some people idolize their jobs. Some people idolize their positions. Some people idolize their knowledge, that kind of stuff. So we need to be careful of what we're doing. And we need to put God first. Not anything that he has given to you. Not anything, not any image, but God himself. Let's not be like the Israelites, who were more focused on the Ark of the Covenant than on God himself. Let's focus on God. Let's put him first in our lives and give him our all. Amen.